Yes.
Deepak. Okay.
Uh,
So
uh,
you
yes.
talked about your startup cycle and value of death, right? So
Right.
can a business skip any stage, or will they have to go to the value of death?
Actually, see, there is a different kind of a school of theories which says that value of death has to happen. In once you are into the value of death, believe you me, it is a kind of a very hard fruit to where the the again to rise. It is such a kind of Herculean task which people need to do. So where when I was actually mentioning about the startup life cycle, as soon as any startup would start their business, all of a sudden when they enter into product development, there is no cash flows happening in the company. So cash will be burned more towards the product development. And if the startups, they don't go for kind of a commercial deal where they would have the cash flow within the organization, then what will the product do? What will the innovation do? They will end up just shelf, shelving those products, and no products will be sold, and finally the death of the startups happen. So that is why it is called value of death. In fact, why it is called value of death? Even a small business bad decision can actually will actually lead you to value of death. So let me explain you by an example. I think Nokia, everybody is aware about what kind of they were the market leaders one time, and Samsung was the second best market player. So they couldn't adapt to the technological change of the touch phone mobile screen, and they were very competent, and they were adamant enough to going through towards those QWERTY keypads kind of a thing, where BlackBerry also invented that QWERTY keypads, where they were doing a kind of they enabling the keys over the mobile phone. But at the same time, Samsung being the second market player, they could adapt to the technological change of smartphone, the touchscreen mobile, and they innovated. And at the same time, then the big player like an Apple came, and before than that, Apple was not into the mobile phone. So they straight away entered into a niche segment, and that is where the end of life of Nokia. And so they need to work on those the strategic business model. They need to do with something to do with the marketing business plan. They need to increase their channel partners, collaborate with more people. Generally in India, what we do and we go for a kind of a individual game kind of a thing. So if we are not playing any kind of an individual shooting competition, we need to work on teams. We need to work on groups. We should be more focused like hockey or a football or cricket. So that is why in fact India was still struggling to win the World Cup in cricket. But when Dhoni united them with the Team India concept, so yes, that there is a lot of leadership involved, where the concept of the leadership as in CEO or the CEO, the core people, they need to they syndicate the team so that effective utilization of the team, even if those product developments are happening, but still the core team is working on the commercial deals. So did I answer your question?
So I have a follow-up question on this.
Yes.
At what stage should a tech entrepreneur start looking at the economic and commercial viability of the venture?
Okay, so generally economic and commercial viability of the venture would start with something to do with stage 3A and 3B, where there is a scale up happening or a growth happening. So that is where the commercial viability, where suppose the commercial, the startup need to focus more on something to do with the commercial deal. So that this is the area where the startup who has just been above the break-even point and is actually scaling up, but they need to work on a bigger commercial deal. That means, let's say, give an example. Let's say Ovis team is making the product related to corona patient identifier. So they have made a kind of a 10 prototypes, but if they want to scale up, they need to focus and collaborate with some entity where they are ready to buy their 10,000 units. So 10,000 units would be something to do as soon as they will deploy it, they will scale up. right? So in order to go ahead with the 10,000 unit, they again need to collaborate with any kind of a manufacturer. So if the manufacturer is ready to make the product, it will ask for the agreement. Where is the order? Who will buy it? Where are you marketing it? Suppose there is a demand from, let's say, international market, let's say European country. So for 10,000 units of those. So definitely you need to find the investor who is ready and give them the equity to share, so that investor would also have a return on investment. Manufacturer will make the product, will get the profits, and as an entrepreneur, you have enabled the entire thing by licensing your product prototype to, and not actually entering into manufacturing. So my thing is, commercial deal, when you talk about, let other people do the right job they are into, rather than getting actually into it. Since your USP is more something to do with the technological development, focus only on that. You don't have to get into the manufacturing. You don't have to get into exporting. They are players. So if you're going with the strategy of right approach, where you're actually collaborating for the business model, for a commercial deal, then only this commercial scalability happens, and that happens at the stage 3 and 3B.
So why not at the initial stages? Because if you're my question is, why not at the initial stages? Because if you're developing, basically what we say is developing something for the market, and if your solution is not commercially, economically viable, then what's the point?
Exactly. So why not at initial stage? Yes, there are again different theories involved. There are a lot of entrepreneurs who would straight away enter into the first commercial deal. Like suppose Abhishek ji is making a robot, and he has when I was talking to him, he made this first robotic prototype. Now this first prototype would have taken his life out of it, 24/7 work. People are thinking and all that thing. But let's say he's making the next 10 prototypes to actually go for a testing environment into the hospital. Let's say 10 prototypes made. Obviously, the first prototype would come out with a, let's say, cost of, let's say, 10 lakh. So, but the next prototype would reduce the cost. So he's also working on the cost optimization. So again, those 10 prototypes would go into for testing in the hospitals. When the testing results would come, the results would actually evaluate the product value. And now Abhishek ji would be in a better position to go for any commercial deal with an investor or the buyer that, see, this is my product, prototypes already tested with the hospital, recognized with some authorities letter, and now give me this adds as a click for any kind of a commercial tree. But initially, if you're going for, let's say, 100 units of product development without entering into the testing environment, I think it's a big risk.
Makes sense.